Hello and welcome to the Blackstone Solicitors YouTube channel, where we break down the legal stuff and explain it in plain English. In today's video, we're talking about something very specific but very important when it comes to setting up a lasting power of attorney. What is a certificate provider? If you're making a lasting power of attorney or LPA, you'll be asked to name something called a certificate provider on the form. So who are they? Why are they needed? And can you just ask your neighbor with a nice signature to do it? In short, a certificate provider is the person who signs your LPA to confirm that you understand what the LPA means. You're not being forced or pressured into it, and you have the mental capacity to make the LPA at the time of signing. They're basically a legal safeguard, there to protect you, the person making the LPA, from fraud or coercion. So, who can be a certificate provider? Now here's where it gets a bit more specific. There are two types of people who can act as a certificate provider. One, someone who's known you personally for at least 2 years. This could be a friend, neighbor or colleague, as long as they know you well enough to judge whether you're acting freely and understand what you're signing. And two, a professional with relevant skills. This might be a solicitor, GP, social worker, or someone who works in mental capacity assessments. These professionals don't need to have known you for 2 years because, well, their expertise makes up for it. Who can't be a certificate provider? This is a good question, and one people often get wrong. The following people cannot be your certificate provider: anyone under 18, a member of your family, one of your attorneys, a member of your attorney's family, or someone involved in the registration process for pay, unless they're a solicitor or professional acting properly. Basically, if there's any conflict of interest, they're out. So, what do they actually have to do? Once you've filled out your LPA form, the certificate provider needs to read the document, have a chat with you, ideally in private, and make sure you're not being influenced. They'll then sign a specific part of the form declaring that, in their view, you understand what you're doing, and you're doing it voluntarily. It's a serious legal declaration, not just a formality. Do you need a solicitor as your certificate provider? Not always. But, many people choose to use a solicitor because it removes doubt about whether the provider is qualified, adds legal weight to the process, and it reduces the chance of the LPA being rejected or challenged later on. At Blackstone Solicitors, we can act as your certificate provider and make sure the entire LPA process is carried out properly and legally. If you're setting up a lasting power of attorney and want to be sure it's done right, with no risk of mistakes or delays, get in touch with us here at Blackstone Solicitors. We'll guide you through each step, including acting as your certificate provider if needed. If this helped clear things up, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell for more legal insights.